Good evening. The situation in Waco, Texas heats up. We have the latest details.
And salary changes are the latest discussion for the Union Township Board of Trustees. We'll tell you why. I'm David Scott.
And I'm Angie Schramski. News Central is next.
Serving the Mount Pleasant community and Central Michigan University. With Angie Schramski, Dave Scott, John Spitzley with weather, and Todd Cox with sports. Live from Central Michigan University, this is News Central.
The standoff between federal agents and a religious cult in Texas has reached an impasse.
More than 24 hours after Texas cult leader David Koresh said he'd surrender, he has changed his mind.
He did not fulfill his promise to leave immediately with his followers because God told him to wait.
You're prepared to wait for him to receive the message he wants to receive?
We're prepared to do whatever it takes and stay here as long as it takes to settle this matter without any further bloodshed.
Koresh's decision leaves hundreds of law enforcement officers surrounding the cult's compound near Waco for a fourth day. There's no telling how long the drama will continue. Meanwhile, the showdown has left 4 federal agents and 2 cult members dead. 3 members, including Koresh, are said to be wounded. A local pastor says a strong will is typical of a cult leader.
A cult is based upon a leader, a person, who many times claims to be a prophet from God. And as a result of him claiming this, then he speaks for God, and so thus you have a leader with a strong personality and charisma that now influences his people. Many times people listen to him and are influenced or even brainwashed where they don't think and they don't really consider whether or not it's rational thought. They are influenced, and then there's a security base there, that here's a man who thinks for them and speaks for them. And so they're easily influenced and drawn into doing things that normally they would not do, that they would consider bizarre behavior. But because of his influence and control over them, they do things that are illegal and against the law and wrong.
A Weidman man was arraigned this morning in Isabella County District Court in connection with a bank robbery yesterday. Frederick Gordon Schrank is being held on $500,000 bond for allegedly robbing the Weidman branch of Isabella Bank and Trust. The 42-year-old man entered the bank yesterday morning at 11:15 and handed a bank teller a note demanding money. He fled the building with the cash and was apprehended by police 3 hours later. According to a security guard at the bank, this is only the second robbery in the bank's history. The felony charge of robbery carries a possible life term in jail.
Mid-Michigan Community College has announced a 7.7% raise in tuition to begin next year. The college, based in Harrison, has a campus in downtown Mount Pleasant. Officials blame the hike on increased spending. Tuition will go up between $3 and $6 per credit hour. The Mount Pleasant campus accounts for 1/4 of the school's population. The downtown campus has been looking into moving into the former Borden Condensary building. Mount Pleasant officials have already pledged $500,000 to the move.
Union Township Board of Trustees met yesterday and discussed a proposal to change the method of determining their salaries. Under the current system adopted last November, trustees make $1,200 annually. This is less than half of what the trustees averaged in years past. The 1992 board made the reductions because the number of trustees has expanded from 2 to 4. This increase in the number of board members prompted the proposed cuts in the salaries last year. However, the new board is meeting twice a month and feels they should be compensated for their time. The committee debating the pay issue is scheduled to meet at 1 p.m. on Friday to discuss the issue.
The Right Career Placement Director could help the chances of CMU students landing jobs after graduation. News Central's Chris Sosha has the details.
Ideally, we were looking for people with prior experience as directors. The minimal qualifications set up by the university were at least 5 years in the college placement business or something that could be equated to it in business.
The 5 candidates will interview on campus the week of March 18th.
So we're moving in the direction of making a recommendation from our committee of what we believe are the best 3, and our charge is to present 3 unranked finalists to the Vice President. We expect to do that not later than the 1st of April. At a guess, and this is really only a guess, I would think that the new person would be on board sometime between the 15th of May and the 15th of July, depending on how soon someone could wrap up things in another job.
This is Chris Socha reporting for News Central.
CMU President Plachta has recruited outside help to aid the investigation regarding allegations of racism and physical abuse on the women's track team. Head coach Keila Yant and assistant coach Alan Carpenter have both denied the charges. Bobby Butler, an equal employment opportunity officer from the Michigan Department of Corrections, will conduct the investigation. The investigation will become Butler's top priority so that the conflict may be resolved quickly. Plachta says he thought it was appropriate to have an outsider conduct the investigation. Butler will begin interviewing this week.
John joins us.
We could see some possible snow by Friday. There's a system that's located to our south in southern Illinois, and it's going to be stalling out in Ohio, and we could pick up a little rain or snow from it. So things aren't looking really great by the end of this week. I'll have details coming up in just a little bit.
Coming up on News Central, the fate of Barnard and Tate Halls has come to an end, but residents of the halls are not too happy about it. We have the story.
And a Detroit prosecutor wants answers in one of Dr. Death's assisted suicides. We'll tell you why coming up.
Told you before we went to see the kids to wrap them water pipes with insulation.
Yeah, should have listened.
And didn't I tell you to leave the doors under the sink open?
Yep.
And leave the heat on?
Yep.
You know, if you'd done all them things, we wouldn't have had to rip out the wall-to-wall carpet when we got home.
Yep, I know.
And we wouldn't have drowned the Victrola.
Yep, should have listened.
Oh, fool.
Oh, I got one.
Having the right resume is vital to your future career. That's why you need a resume from Copy Corner, your professional resume headquarters. Copy Corner will help you every step of the way, from writing to layout to printing. And you'll end up with a resume to impress any prospective employer. For one resume or 100, you can't beat our prices, high quality, or fast service. So for a professional resume, contact the experts at Copy Corner, located in Saddler Square, Big Rapids, and the Cinema Plaza, Mount Pleasant.
Personally, I learned about the disease and all the implications when my brother was diagnosed. And it was a harsh reality. I had to learn a lot very quickly. Even though I thought I knew a lot about AIDS, the picture changed when it became a family issue.
If I, the son of a Baptist minister from basically a rural area, can acquire AIDS, anybody can.
Obviously, women can get AIDS. I mean, I'm certainly here to witness to that. That it's not a we-they disease, it's an us disease.
AIDS is not a problem that affects other people. AIDS affects us all. Know the facts about AIDS. Know how to protect yourself and your family. Tell others. For answers to your questions about AIDS, call 1-800-342-AIDS.
It looks like the Barnard-Tate controversy is finally coming to an end. Central Michigan University President Leonard Plachta has approved the closing.
Now the fate of the 2 dorms lie in the Board of Trustee hands. Gretchen Veneman has reactions to Plachta's approval.
According to Business and Finance Vice President Kim Ellertson, the possible closing is a part of a proposed 3% increase in room and board rates for the 93-94 school year. Right now, there are 5,400 students. Next year, the rate drops 450. Because of the decrease in students, a 6% increase in housing may be enacted unless Barnard-Tate shuts down. Ellertson says they chose these residence halls for valid reasons.
That's the fewest number of students that any dining facility serves. and the economics just do not work out there. In the current year, on that operation, the residence halls and dining facilities, we're losing about $1.2 million. So that is the least economical of all the buildings we have. It's kind of sad, you know. I've been in those two buildings, and I think our housing program is pretty good here on campus.
This has been my home for the past 2 years, and it has been the home to a lot of other people for many more years than that. So it really saddens me, but
Students will have two choices if the halls shut down: move off campus or to another campus living facility. All resident assistants will still have a job next fall at another hall, but other students are disappointed by the closing.
I sort of don't like the idea because I like the hall, but if it's going to save me money, you know, I'd rather have them close it. You know?
I've lived in Tate 2 years, and it's a really great place to live, and I don't think any other hall on campus has the same atmosphere and the same type of people.
General consensus is, you know, a lot of people are upset, and we'd still like to live here next year.
Although the consensus is looking towards Barnard Tate closing, the doors won't be shut until Board of Trustees have their say. Reporting from Barnard Hall, Gretchen Veneman, News Central.
Macomb County's prosecutor says he'll order an inquest into a suicide assisted by Dr. Jack Kevorkian unless witnesses start talking. The prosecutor says he just wants information about Hugh Gale's death and is prepared to offer immunity from prosecution to the 3 witnesses were in Gale's Roseville home when he died. Carol Marlinga is investigating whether Gale's death was involuntary. An inquest would not result in indictments but does make recommendation to the prosecutor. Gale was the 13th of 15 people who have committed suicide with Kevorkian's assistance since June 1990.
Fire officials in Holland say soup cans filled with gasoline started an early morning blaze in the basement of an apartment complex. About a dozen people were evacuated from the complex. Police say damage to the building is minimal and there are no reports of injuries. 25-year-old Tony Strong was arraigned this morning on a single count of arson. Strong is being held at a $3,000 bond. A hearing is set for next Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Holland-based Donnelly Corporation unveiled a new automotive technology today it says will help cut down on headlight glare in rear view and side view mirrors. The company's intelligent vision system uses a microchip to detect glare and selectively and independently dims each mirror on the vehicle. The computerized system will be available for the 1996 model year. Donnelly Corporation makes glass products for both automotive and electronic industries.
2 men are dead and a woman is hospitalized after an overnight shootout in a suburban Detroit motel. Police are questioning 2 people in the shooting late last night at the Summit Lodge in Inkster. Authorities found 1 man already dead. The second man died early this morning at an area hospital. The motel manager says one of the people involved in the shooting had checked in for the night, but says he doesn't know anything else about the deaths or what prompted the shootings. The motel was open for business as usual today.
Detroit police are investigating a prostitute's find of a dead body in the apartment of a customer. The prostitute told authorities she had been at the home for several hours before she asked to use the bathroom. According to police reports, her client told her that she couldn't use the bathroom because his wife was in it. When the prostitute entered the bathroom, she discovered a dead body. The woman fled the apartment and called authorities. Police say the 32-year-old victim apparently had been dead for several days and had suffered multiple head, face, and chest injuries. The man is being questioned about the incident by Detroit authorities.
President Clinton gave the green light for Eastern Bosnia airdrops, saying the airdrops are going forward just as planned. This is going against reports that the airdrops were to be halted, which Defense Secretary Les Aspin said yesterday. Even though humanitarian aid has currently reached Bosnia by land, Clinton still says no to any halt on the airdrops. Press Secretary Dee Dee Myers says more airdrops are planned for today, saying there's been no break in the operation. Meanwhile, in reaction to the new fighting in eastern Bosnia, Secretary of State Warren Christopher says U.S. wants a meeting of the UN Security Council. Christopher met in Washington with NATO's Secretary General after making the comment. The Secretary of State says that one good reason to carry on with the airdrops is because of the fighting and the new arrivals of refugees. Muslims already trying to get to the airdrop food have been shot at by Serb troops, say ham radio operators. There has been mass killings by the Serbs and they have torn into enclaves held by the Bosnian Muslims. President Clinton announced his plans to slim down the nation's bureaucracy. This is to be done by conducting an agency-by-agency review aimed at reducing waste and having the government treat taxpayers like they are customers. Vice President Al Gore is the head of the campaign. The president says Americans can use toll-free numbers are right to give their comments and suggestions.
There's been a bit of a warming trend around central Michigan, but will it last? John Spitzley's forecast is next.
And Todd Cox will be in later with the sports.
Long ago, in a place where there was nothing, something incredible began to happen. As the centuries passed, a beautiful forest blossomed, and all was well. Then one day, a man was careless. And once again, there was nothing.
That's my dad. And that's Mom. Dad's got an idea. A way to get rid of all the grody garbage that's polluting the world. He's invented a big rocket ship to shoot all the garbage into outer space. Mom's not sure, but Dad says his invention will save the world.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
That you will always have a friend here at Carver High. Congratulations.
Decide what you're going to do after graduation, Michael.
Yep, I'm going to go home and make a sandwich.
Well then, Michael.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. G?
I'm fine.
Listen, what are you doing after graduation? I don't know. I was thinking about going home and brushing the teeth and combing the hair. Hey, what's up, girl? We made it.
Hey, I couldn't have gotten through physics without you.
Yeah, well, you're on your own at college.
It's not fair.
That's all right. I'm going to get a job, you know. I'm going to start working. I'm going to save. And I'll be in college in another year or two.
Nice.
So, what do you have planned, Mike?
I think I'm going to go home and make a sandwich. It's okay.
Support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Well, good evening, everyone. Currently, it's partly cloudy outside. We have a temperature of 37 degrees right now. Our dew point is at 30, and our relative humidity is at 76%. Our barometer is falling at 30.02 inches, and with the wind is out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. We have had no precipitation over the past 24 hours, but that might change within the next 24 hours. Let's look at a normal map, our almanac page right now. You see, a normal high for today should be at 37 degrees. We did have a record set of 68 way back in 1974. And our low normal temperature is 21 degrees, and we had a record of -6 in 1943. You see the sunrise and sunset temperatures there. Now we'll take a look at our national map. You'll see that here's our low pressure system. That's going to be sliding over into Ohio, and it's going to stall out right there. So this pattern is going to be about the same for the next 2 or 3 days. And there's also a low pressure that was associated with this that is broken off now and is moving off into the Florida area. Now, the northern half of Florida right now looks like it's getting a lot of rain. There's been some stormy weather down there, but the southern half looks pretty good. Now, whether that's going to be the case for the spring break, we're not sure. The extended outlook is calling for below normal temperatures for that area. If you look behind me, you'll see that there is high pressure that dominates. So once this system clears out, we should be in pretty good shape for the weekend. Let's take a look at our state map now. You see temperatures are in the 30s and 40s off to the north. We have a brisk wind out of the northeast now that's starting to cool things down for us a little bit. But we are keeping the sunshine for right now. You see clouds are going to start to move into this area by the evening hours and for tomorrow. And that's going to be the case for probably Thursday and Friday. With that system down to our south, it might move a little bit to the north, and then we could see some rain or snow with that, depending on how low the temperatures get. I don't think we'll see very much here, but off to our south in the Detroit area, they could pick up some considerable accumulations. Let's go to the forecast now. You see, and our winds are going to remain out of the northeast at 5 to 10. And then for tomorrow, you see, we're going to become cloudy. There's a slight chance of snow tomorrow, a better chance on Friday, and our high will get around 36 in the mid-30s. And our extended outlook calls for just possibly some snow on Friday, but then clearing out for the weekend, and our temperatures will stay in the 30s and 40s, and our lows will be in the 20s. So hit or miss probably for Thursday and Friday.
So I guess it's a good time for spring break to come when all the snow's coming. A lot of people get to leave.
Right, if everybody's going down south, but then they're supposed to have below normal temperatures, so we'll have to wait and see.
Down there also?
Right. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, thank you, John.
We'll be right back.
Having the right resume is vital to your future career. That's why you need a resume from Copy Corner, your professional resume headquarters. Copy Corner will help you every step of the way, from writing to layout to printing. And you'll end up with a resume to impress any prospective employer. For one resume or 100, you can't beat our prices, high quality, or fast service. So for a professional resume, contact the experts at Copy Corner, located in Saddler Square, Big Rapids, and the Cinema Plaza, Mount Pleasant.
Honey, it's Mom. Please let me in. I'm worried.
Learn to see the signs of mental illness. 2 out of 3 people who get help get better. For a free booklet, call the National Mental Health Association.
Everyone has their own idea of a hero.
Magic Johnson. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mr. Neal.
My hero, Gloria Stefan.
Martin Luther King. Mr. Hope.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes. They've given them hope. They've given them choices. They've changed their lives.
Well, the children are the heroes.
The most fulfilling thing is watching a child succeed.
I just like to help them make their dreams come true.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. If you want to make an impact on our future, call 1-800-45-TEACH.
Mr. Wilkins.
Mrs. Eisenhower.
Mr. Adler.
Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Todd Cox is in now for all of today's sports.
So Todd, Michigan won their game against Iowa.
Big win for Michigan, and it was hammer time at Chrysler Arena last night as rap star Hammer and a national television audience saw Michigan bury the Iowa Hawkeyes 82-73 as we traveled to Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. As James Vasco misses a three-pointer, but Juwan Howard battles underneath and comes away with a rebound and gets a basket and the foul. And then here, Ray Jackson will get the missed shot and dishes to Chris Webber for the slam here, right here. And Michigan has a 12-point lead at the half. With Michigan on the run, here's Jimmy King. He will give it to Jalen Rose for the reverse layup off the window. And the Wolverines are up. And then here again, Wolverines on the run again. Rose will give an alley-oop slam to Eric Riley. And the Wolverines go on to win it 82-73. Juwan Howard scored 19 points and Ray Jackson had 13 while ripping down 14 rebounds. Chris Webber fouled out early in the second half. Michigan will next play on Sunday against their state rival, Michigan State. Only 2 other games in the top 25 last night. It was number 7 Vanderbilt went into overtime with Tennessee, but the Commodores held on to beat the Vols 90-82, and Xavier of Ohio down in LaSalle 73-58. On the NBA hardwood last night, the Pistons were off, but there was still action in the NBA. It was Seattle 108, Cleveland 105. Eddie Johnson led the Sonics with 24 points. Mark Price paced the Cavs with 25. It was Portland 102, Phoenix 97. Portland was led by all-star guard Terry Porter with 26 points. Phoenix has lost 3 of the last 4 games. It was Chicago 87, New Jersey 80. The Nets had their lowest point total of the season. New York 107, Atlanta 98. The Knicks got 30 points from Patrick Ewing, while Dominique netted 42 for the Hawks. It was Houston getting by the Clippers 99-83 as Otis Thorpe led the Rockets with 20 points. Stanley Roberts had 21 points and 11 caroms for the Clippers. Orlando just getting by, or actually beating Minnesota 108-89. Shaquille O'Neal had 25 points, 16 rebounds, while Christian Laettner had 27 points and 13 rebounds. Indiana squeaked by San Antonio 108-95. The Pacers won their third straight. Detlef Schrempf had 26 points, while David Robinson contributed with 37 points and 12 rebounds for the Spurs. Denver outscored the Lakers 127-115. Marcus Liberty tied a career high with 25 points. And it was Milwaukee bombing Dallas 120-86. The Mavs remain winless on the road in 25 games this season. The Detroit Red Wings continue on their winless streak as the New York Islanders were one better than Wings last night, 3-2. The Wings now have extended their winless streak to 5 games as we travel to the island in New York. Here as Benoit Hogue is on a breakaway, but Tim Chevalier just stops him. And then here in the second period, it's 2-1 Wings with Pierre Turgeon moves into the slot, freezes Chevalier, and it's tied at 2-2. And then Yves Ricin right here will give the puck away to Turgeon and bangs it in, and it's 3-2 Isles. And then Eisborough can't get the slapper in right here. But then several shots by the Wings, but Glenn Healy of the Islanders, the goalie of the Islanders, made some great saves, and the Islanders held on 3-2 over the Wings. Sergei Fedorov and Steve Yzerman scored the Detroit's goals. Pierre Turgeon netted 2 goals for the Isles. Elsewhere on the pro ice last night, it was Philadelphia 5, Pittsburgh 4, as Mario Lemieux made his return last night by scoring a goal and adding an assist. Quebec down Winnipeg 7-4. Teemu Selanne netted 3 goals to give him 54 for the year. The 54 goals are a new rookie record, eclipsing Mike Bossy's old mark of 53. Washington and Vancouver skated to a 3-3 tie. It was San Jose getting by Ottawa 3-2 as Johan Granopolov scored 2 goals, including the game winner with 35 seconds left in overtime. And the Los Angeles Kings bombed Calgary 6-2. Luc Robitaille scored 3 goals, and Wayne Gretzky added 2 for the Kings. And finally tonight, well, spring is just around the corner, and the Detroit Tigers open their exhibition season on Friday against the Chicago White Sox. Newly acquired pitcher Mike Moore is scheduled to be the opening day pitcher. Opening day is April 5th out in Oakland to face the Athletics, and Moore is scheduled to open on April 5th against his former teammates. And with the Tigers starting on Friday, a familiar voice will be on the air again. Ernie Harwell will make his return as Tiger broadcaster, and he will share the booth with Rick Riz and Bob Rathbun. And that's a look at sports.
Well, it'll be good to have Ernie Harwell back in there.
It was good, you know, year absence, but it's good to see him back.
Okay, thanks, Todd. We'll be right back.
After dating the guy forever, you think I could tell him anything.
Why is this so hard? I'm really scared.
It takes a lot of guts to tell someone he's too drunk to drive. But you can do it. Just say it. Because if you don't, there may be nothing left to say.
Kevin, I'm gonna drive.
Take the keys, call a cab, take a stand. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Thousands of forest fires are started by people who never realize what they've done. Some never even set foot in the forest.
Female legislators in Arkansas are waging a battle of the bills with their male counterparts. The Arkansas House has approved a bill requiring a 24-hour waiting period for women seeking an abortion.
Now some lawmakers are trying to turn the tables. They've offered a measure to require men seeking vasectomies to wait too. Lawmaker Judy Smith, who is the lead sponsor of the vasectomy bill, says what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander.
Well, Todd, we're going to be looking forward to the Tigers starting their exhibition game on Friday.
They start Fridays. Hopefully be a good year. They just got to get their pitching and their hitting together, because last couple of years they haven't had their pitching, but they have had their hitting, but we'll have to wait and see when the season starts.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, that'll wrap up News Central for tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you.